Look, to be clear, I got to tell you, Dr. Corsi is always very careful about his claims. He's very meticulous. And just finishing the book last week, I knew some of the information in here, but the exhibits, the documentation, and knowing this book was finished months ago, so much of what he's now put in the book, it's as if they're trying to psychologically inoculate with the Boston and papers and New York papers coming out and going, yeah, here's the State Department documents, here's Harvard, kicking Barack Obama Sr. out for all these wives and fake marriages. All of what's now come out is vindicating what was already written in this book that was done months ago. And look, I've got detractors that lie about me all the time, and I don't even respond because it's a joke. The way they're acting, his press conference, the body language, the fakeness of this new birth certificate, the fact that they said it never existed, and that the last one was real. The governor saying, "I went to look, it's not there." Then it appearing, and now Corsi wouldn't come out and say he's hot on the trail and privately, tell me they even basically know who forged it if they didn't have the meat and potatoes on this. Dr. Corsi, getting back to this Esquire, I'm not a litigious person, but if I had spent millions of dollars to print up hundreds of thousands of books and the 100,000 or so to fly you all over the world and paid you, if I was Joseph Farah, I mean, this was, for those that don't know how the book publishing business works and things, this was clearly designed, what Esquire did, saying it was discredited, Farah was recalling it. That was meant to cause a run on the book, people demanding money back, so people that are selling it in bookstores get scared and pull it off shelves, correct?
That's correct. The whole idea was trying to destroy the marketing. Get the book while it's just getting out there and tell people, it's misinformation. Classic misinformation campaign. Intelligence agents do it all the time. The book has been always on sale. It was never pulled. We wanted it to be called Where's the Birth Certificate? Because we were trying to induce Barack Obama to get so scared he'd release the document he released. I knew it had to be false. I know Barack Obama was not born in Hawaii. Kapiolani does not have the records of his mother, and they can't, I don't think, fake them.
By the way, the Kenyan security force, they wouldn't put you on house arrest when you went to Kenya if there wasn't something to hide.
Well, and I have the documents. I've begun to print them. I'm going to do a lot more next week, making it very clear the Kenyan government and the intelligence services did a deep search, a massive amount of searching, going for Obama's birth records. They believe they were there. The grandmother's been saying for years, grandmother may have told Obama when he first came to Africa, I was there when you were born.
Why does Michelle Obama, in multiple speeches, we can play right now for folks, 3-4 years ago, give speeches saying we went back to Kenya, his home country, his homeland?
Well, I document in the book, Barack Obama, before he was running for president, was happy to say and have people write and print that he was born in Kenya. And I'm quite confident psychologically, subconsciously, it comes out from Michelle, because he was born in Kenya. And the family knows it. The Kenyan government knows it. They can't find the records because the records were criminally destroyed, but they found the pattern of destruction of birth records in Kenya that documents that Barack Obama's records were intentionally gotten rid of. And the Kenyan government says, they say there's 47 instances in specific of where birth records have been tampered, and they said this is a pattern to destroy Barack Obama's birth records and to alter the birth records around him so as to disguise the pattern.
All right, we've got a few more minutes left with you on the other side. I've got a few other key questions and any other points you've got to make that you think are central. Bob Chapman will also be in the wings, and he'll ask you a question before you leave us. Dr. Jerome Corsi is our guest. It's on sale everywhere. Where's the Birth Certificate? #1 New York Times bestseller. Jerome R. Corsi, Ph.D. They are very, very scared of this book. Bottom line, I'm going to ask him on the other side, is this Obama's Nixon moment? Is this the beginning of a Watergate-type meltdown? Because there's no doubt they're running scared from this. Well, very exciting. Dr. Jerome Corsi is going to be working with us, putting out these super viral YouTube news presentations as this news and information breaks. If you just joined us, last hour, they believe they know who the forger is. The document itself is a manifest unprofessional fraud at every level. They're just basically knowing if they release it, once the mainstream dinosaur media commits to it, they will then have a stake in not being discredited and will then always defend the lie. Also, he's breaking here that early next week at worldnetdaily.com, WMD.com, they will be releasing documents from the Kenyan government that there's been criminal tampering in the birth records of the hospital where the evidence shows Barack Obama was born. Dr. Corsi would not be going this far if he didn't have that information. Also, it's now been confirmed what's in the book, written months and months and months ago, by major newspapers in the U.S., that the State Department was asked by Harvard to take the visa, the education visa, away from Barack Obama Sr. because he had all these other women pregnant and fake marriages. And you can just look at Obama, folks. It's not his dad, but clearly the fact is they were probably not married. So you've got the bastard news coming out. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. The point is, life's a good thing, period. It's just that they've got something to cover up here, and that this is a composite. Dr. Corsi, is this the beginning of Barry Soetoro, a.k.a. Barack Obama's Waterloo? Because the info you've got in here with Indonesia and getting the dual citizenship, federal law, he wouldn't be eligible on that. I think that's the smoking gun. Is this the beginning? And are they fleeing forward? And now that's why they're running on the birth certificate being real, this whole Made in America, this fundraising. After 3 years of ignoring this, is this their Waterloo?
Yes, this is the beginning of the end. The Obama administration knows if the American people read what's in this book, where's the birth certificate, and understands it, studies the exhibit, the Obama administration cannot survive. And the other thing, if people got to understand, I wanted the title to be Where's the Birth Certificate? Joseph Farah said, well, they could release the birth certificate. I said, if they do, it'll be fake, but that's what we want them to do, because then Obama will be committed, Obama will have to own that document, and the minute we can prove that that document is fraudulent, the Obama administration crashes.
Why would they bet everything on such a fraud? The CIA, the State Department, they're masters at putting out near-perfect forgeries. It
was the only thing they could think to do. They had to forge it within the group. They couldn't go outside the group. They picked the best. He wasn't that good. They were stuck with it. And they used the strategy. They decided they'd go with this strategy to try to preempt the book. Remember, they can't stand the publication of this book. Once the American people read Where's the Birth Certificate, they've got enough information to know that Barack Obama is not eligible to be president. He's not even who he says he is. That's why all these documents are being hidden. And the administration can't stand that anybody will read it, so they say, let's rush together, let's put the birth certificate out. It's the only thing they had left to save themselves, that we can count on the mainstream media, they'll say the story's dead. All the while I'm saying, okay, look, I'm going to take a hit. For a while it's going to look like I'm not credible, but when we prove the birth certificate's a fraud, when we prove there's no patient records for Ann Dunham at Kapiolani, then the administration crashes, and they crash criminally. I suffer a little bit of a hit for a while where they make fun of me. In the end, the vindication with the truth is what I'm after. And the truth is, Barack Obama was not born in Hawaii. The proof is he's born in Kenya. The proof is he may not be who he says he is, may not even know or want to reveal his true birth circumstances. And he was a dual citizen, which independently disqualifies him at birth from his father, if that was his father, in Kenya, and in Indonesia from his stepfather when he became Barry Soetoro Soebaka.
And you also dropped the bombshell that Donald Trump has contacted you. He got an advance copy of the book.
Donald Trump called me, pumped me for information, got us to send him an advance copy of the book. I had no assurance that that wasn't going right to the White House. Mike Cohen calling me, talking to me. They're talking to Charlie Schumer. Look, the whole deal was a setup because with Trump, immediately Obama says, look, you come and make the issue very big, get it on, then I'll release the birth certificate. You'll be a hero. You got the birth, and then just drop the issue.
Then the Bin Laden, this whole thing, you can see the scripting.
And if Trump were truly in this, and I told Trump, he called me up, I said, Trump, you get back into this and say that you want verification of these documents. You want to see the original best evidence, the original paper document, not this electronic nonsense, subjected to forensic testing, get it out of the vault. If you're going to show the birth certificate, show the original, get it forensically tested, and go to Kapiolani Hospital and say, show me Ann Dunham's patient record. Trump wouldn't do either one.
And then we've got NBC that we know got massive bailout money.
From GE, with GE, virtually having an office in the White House. And Trump breathing heavily about casinos going to be built in Chicago and maybe some tall buildings. I'm just waiting for Trump to show up with competing for those contracts. I'll be there investigating it.
Well,
I don't like being played for a chump either. I gave Trump information, trusting him, expecting him to stay in this battle, and not to have me walk out on the plank while he sits in the boat, says, I got my $60 million from GE. I don't care about Obama's birth records anymore.
Well, in closing, you see I want to go back to this Esquire for folks that haven't read it. It was written clearly, as a news piece to try to say that you guys had disavowed your own book,
right? Which we did not.
And I'm not a litigious person, but I think Farah has an absolute.
Farah's going today's WND top Skyline headline. Farah says, "Help me to own Esquire." He's suing Esquire.
Well, you have to, because
we will.
This is a new level. I mean, just a month ago, we got the internal George Soros Media Matters documents where they said we're going to destroy alternative conservative media. And
correct.
You go there, I'm attacked almost every day. I'm seen as conservative, even though I'm just a constitutionalist and nonpartisan.
I'm attacked every day.
And so we know we're on the list, and they say we're going to infiltrate, we're going to destroy, we're going to use
after the sponsors.
We're going to use spies. They said
they're targeting now companies like Orbit. They're saying if you advertise with Fox, we're going to run a national campaign. This is blackmail. This should be criminal. What Media Matters is doing, targeting out companies that fund Fox and saying we'll destroy your business if you do that. That's a clear form.
It's racketeering.
It's racketeering.
Yeah, but worse than that, in those memos that Politico got,
it's extortion too. It's also a form of extortion.
Well, yes, but in there they say we'll infiltrate into their companies with spies. Now that's espionage.
Well, that's espionage. They're doing espionage, extortion. This is, these are thug tactics capable of Chicago. And if that's what Soros wants to do, funding Media Matters, so be it. But I think it's criminal. I think it's a RICO violation.
Well, there's infiltrating and getting your people hired into companies to, quote, destroy them. It's
absolutely beyond the pale. What they tried to do, with getting us with this magazine, going out and saying the book had been pulled from the shelves, when that's completely untrue. You've got Esquire out there on the limb trying to destroy our market. We spent the whole day, people wanting, we shouldn't go buy the book, it's gone. All that misinformation, classic misinformation techniques from intelligence agencies. And if that's what Esquire wants to do, then let them explain in court how they had an intention to destroy the book and what damages that causes.
Well, it's bottom line, it's meant to cause people to run back to the store saying, I want my money back. Then all the big booksellers, Barnes & Nobles, panics and pulls it off shelves.
And have you ever seen an attempt by the administration, by someone in the White House, to destroy a book? In the history of book publishing, I don't remember any president going after a book like this.
Nixon actually went after some authors and people, and you saw what happened to him. This shows that they are running scared.
They're in their last legs. They're gasping. They're desperate. They're using fraudulent methods. They're using strong-arm tactics. And I'm an author. They want to vilify me. If that's what they have to do to stay in the White House, so be it. I'll tolerate that for a while. The final analysis, if that document's fraudulent, then we're vindicated, and the White House is going to have to explain to criminal court why a criminal document was brought out, and Obama will have to explain to the American people why he resorted to crime to stay in office.
All right,